Welcome back
to the Marriage Beyond the Veil.
So today I was watching TV and there was this celebrity couple, and they were saying that, the difference in dating and marriage is that when you're married, you're committed, there's going to be trials and tribulations, and you just have to push through them and work through them. Whereas if you're dating, you can just walk away. So one of my questions for you is that are the red flags when you're dating a time to run away, or is it sometimes an area for growth? And then what's the difference between dating, marriage, and then committed?
That's a mouthful.
It is.
All right. So when you talk about red flags in a relationship and as a time, it really just depends on how you feel about the person.
Okay.
There are some things like cheating, beating. Okay, those red flags run. Just done.
Okay.
But there are some other ones, that can be less challenging or less of an obstacle that you could overcome, and so that would be an opportunity for growth.
Okay.
But here's the ticket for me: growth has to happen quickly, so it can't be like a 10-year growth pattern.
Yeah.
So if it's going to be long, drawn out, the person after a year, they still, no. In my opinion, that's long enough. However, in some relationships, I believe, especially as you get older, they can pivot from being a dating situation to a situation where it's a committed relationship. And meaning that you're not dating anyone else and you're committed to that person, but you may not be in a situation or where you want to get married.
Okay.
Because not every relationship, especially as you get older, a lot of people just don't want to go through the headache of trying to merge everything together. And then, especially when you have adult children, you may have two different houses. You may have one house on one coast and one house on another coast. Y'all may be distant in a distant relationship. Do you want to get rid of both houses, or do you want to keep the income property? It's a lot of different ways to look at it.
Right.
Plus, when you get ready to break, you give your kids their stuff and somebody else gets it. But it just depends on the person and the commitment that you have in a relationship. So I do believe that there is a time that when you're dating that you need to say, no, this is not working. But I also think that there are times that it is a place where you can grow.
Okay. And so as far as committed relationship between couples versus married, it, in my opinion, is virtually the same thing.
Except for the piece of paper that says that you're married. And you can get a legal document.
Right.
Saying that, you're in this committed relationship and this is shared property or whatever have you. And that way, if something were to happen, you'd be able to justify it in court.
And you can do commitment ceremonies, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So, in your opinion, because you've been married for 30-something years.
34.
34 years. If you had not married, would you have stayed in this relationship, or was marriage the thing that held you in it this long?
No, for Fred and I, there was really not a gray area where that was concerned. So, because of his personality and the way that he views marriage, marriage was either yes or no.
Right.
There was no in between. Would I have stayed with him? Yes. I love him. I think we're very compatible.
Well, see, I have friends and colleagues who are not married. They've been with the same person forever and I thought, you would think they were married.
Yeah.
But for different reasons, most of them are financial based. They just chose never to be married, and they're in this committed relationship, which looks very much like marriage. So the question is, over 50, married, committed, or just dating? How does that look for you? How does that look for people who are in this realm of dating at the age of 50 plus? Married, committed, or just dating? I can get into my whole thing about the serial daters, but I think at this age, you're either committed or you're married. What do you think?
I'm married for 34 years. I believe you're committed or you're married.
Okay, great. So,
until tomorrow,
if the Lord says the same,
have a good evening.
have a good one.